Yeah, I'm just waiting for the hecklers.
Oh.
The hecklers are my old friends. So I just
Are they Jewish?
They have a different sense of humor. Most of them are not.
Are they Australian?
No.
They're right here in L.A.?
Mm-mm.
Where are they?
Quinn Rum's in Houston.
Oh.
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
Oh, so he's the one who wrote in and
And
was like saying...
He's a retired welding teacher.
Okay.
He's a guy, he's like 70 years old.
And he was like in Vietnam or something, and he was arguing with me about something.
Yeah.
You know, and I had somebody else was reading it, you know, the whole back and forth on your thing, and said, the guy's stereotyping.
Right,
the guy's guilty of stereotyping. And he was complaining about us, and he's stereotyping.
Right.
You can't take the moral high ground, you know, building it up with bullshit. That's the problem.
Well, it's male joshing, so you can do anything on this.
Yeah, but...
He's not trying to develop a systematic level of moral thought. He's just like a...
No, but he was saying that...
He's like a heckler. Hey, look, what are you doing?
No, I know, but when he was saying to me that, you know, hey, Rabbi, you have to admit, you know, your type aren't very friendly. So
that was Greg, the guy who kept emailing. That's a different character.
Oh, but he's also in... He said he was in Texas.
Yeah, he's also... There are more than one person in Texas. So.
Oh, never mind. There were two different people.
Yeah,
no, Comer was just joking, you know.
Just joking.
He got me upset the first time I saw it because I'm not used to that level.
Yeah.
He's not Australian.
Yeah. Don't you get joshed a lot when you're on stage?
Yeah, but I go for the jugular. If
Oh.
somebody screws with me, I go for the jugular, and I can get the crowd behind me.
Oh.
Because nobody likes, you know, somebody picking on the rabbi.
Right. So anyway, everyone, it's 2 Torah portions tonight, so...
Oh, are we on live?
Yeah.
Hi.
So it's the end of Numbers, the last 6 chapters, I believe, of the book of Numbers. Rabbi, what are these things that you wear?
Oh, I wasn't trying to bespectacle myself, but felt like wearing them out tonight.
No, they're great.
Oh, thanks. They're called payas, and it's the they're I don't know how you say it in English.
Sidelocks.
That, and it's from Leviticus. We learned that. It talks about it.
What does it say? It says, "Don't cut the corners of your."
Don't cut the. You should not.
Shave
the corners of your hair. So the bottom line is you don't use you don't
razor.
You don't razor off. You don't shave off the corners of your head, but that's the minimum. Right. And there's an thing in Judaism to go beyond the letter of the law. Lifnei Mashur Sedin, to go beyond the letter of the law. So the way to do it is just don't cut them. Period. Because you already see that God wants them there.
Right.
You know, He wants the edges of your hair, that He likes that. And He's telling you don't shave it off, so you just, that means you should at least have something. But you want to go Lifnei Mashur Sedin, you want to go beyond the letter of the law, don't touch it all and let it grow. So I never cut my pants.
Where does the notion of going beyond the letter of the law come from?
Lifnei Mashur Sedin was the source for that?
Yeah. Is it in the Talmud?
It's a Talmud talks about it. Absolutely comes from the Talmud.
Okay.
So it's oral law. God says there's like a minimum. There's always like a minimum daily requirement.
Right.
But you can do a little more than that. God likes when you do more than just the minimum.
And then what's this yellow thing you've got here?
That's called the talus cotton. It's a small talus, and that's from. We actually saw that a few weeks ago in Parshas Shalach, the end of Shalach.
Right.
It's the maftir, the very end of it, and it says you should wear tzitzis.
Right.
You should wear fringes on the 4 corners of your beged, of your clothes. So we learned from that whenever you wear a 4-cornered garment, you have to have tzitzis. You have to have fringes, which are these, at the corners of that garment. So to fulfill that mitzvah, we make sure that we wear a 4-cornered garment as much as possible. Try to at all times, ideally, so that you can always fulfill the mitzvah of wearing the tzitzis.
But normally, the modern Orthodox in here, which Jews wear like kind of discreet ones? Like, the mesh isn't
cotton mesh
isn't normal, but normally I think most people just kind of wear it under the garment, and you can just kind of maybe see the tzitzit out, or they even tuck them in. Why different Whole
Okay.
different setup there.
All right.
And what does it symbolize?
It's not symbolize anything. The question really is on you. Why are you wearing it on the inside? Do you have?
Well, I wear the seat out.
Why are you wearing the
says-
whole beged out? Why aren't you wearing the whole beged out? That's the
It's
question.
just too much hassle.
Okay, that's a hassle with your tassel.
Yeah.
Here's
Well,
what.
it's not the tassel, it's this.
Okay.
If I may touch.
Okay, here's what's going on.
Mhm.
Originally, every Jewish man wore these on the outside.
Mhm.
They were his outer beged, his outer shirt, or his outer
Mhm.
clothes, if you will, all the time. That was Jewish wear, was to wear these on the outside.
Uh-huh.
The question is, why did people start wearing them on the inside?
Oh, to
Two
fit in.
reasons. Two reasons. One, we're
So
going to
the
try to
Goyim.
fit in with the Goyim. Maybe they won't notice that we're Jewish and they won't kill us. Right? That's really
Yes.
the overriding
Yes.
reasons, right?
Yes.
So one of them is just because, is to assimilate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's never gone good for us Jews. We
Yeah.
talked about that
Yeah.
before, right? And the other one is because Pashut, I think this is Lubavitch's reason. They wear it on the inside. This is the only Hasidic group that wears it on the inside. And I believe it was because one of the Rebbeim back when said this is actually what's called a Pekuach Nefesh. It was the kind of Nefashos. It was, how do you want to say that in English? It was a danger.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
save your life.
It saved your life because if the
Right.
Goyim,
Yeah.
these Russian shitbags, for the lack
Yeah.
of a better word, catch us with our,
Yeah.
they'll identify us and they'll haul your ass off to some Soviet labor camp or whatever, right? Or whatever it was. So they were like, this is like you it's scary. It's not because we're trying to blend in with the Goyim, because they'll accept us. It's because they won't kill us, right? So it's like a whole new level.
Right.
But my question to Lubavitchers is, buddies, you're in America. Like
Right.
nobody's taking you to Soviet labor camp.
Right.
Why don't you bring them back out? And like every time I talk to Lubavitcher about that, they start fidgeting and getting all nervous because they don't have an answer for that.
Are you Hasidic?
No, but I've learned in Hasidic. I learned in yeshivas of 3 different Hasidic groups, and I have definitely a influence from that. There's no getting away from it. But I would not call myself Hasidic.
Right. And last week I brought up this interesting idea, or at least it was interesting to me. When and you replied to it on your Facebook, but I'm going to get you to verbalize it again now.
Okay.
So when Moses says something in the Torah, do we automatically assume that he's speaking for God? So, for instance, when Moses loses his temper, is that God speaking? When Moses says to the Israelites, shall we bring forth water from the rock, rather than saying, shall God bring forth water from the rock? So when Moses speaks, is it always assumed that he is speaking for God? And I noted a discrepancy, which I heard from Dennis Prager, that God only says to drive the Canaanites out of the land, while Moses says to exterminate the Canaanites. So what's going on? Is Prager wrong?
Prager's wrong.
Go for it.
Prager's absolutely wrong. Okay, here's what's going on. First of all, you made a different point just now than you, at least that I'm aware of, than you did last week.
Okay.
You mentioned the thing with the hitting the rock versus speaking to the rock.
Right.
Okay, and that's the only time that Moshe ad-libbed. Actually, Moshe got it wrong, right? Mm-hmm. He heard like a million things from God over the 40 years. He went up to Mount Sinai. He heard all these details of the oral law, and he got everything 100% correct. God never said, hey, you got that wrong.
Right.
But he missed up on the thing with the rock, right? God said to hit the rock, and Moses said.
No, God said, speak to the rock. And in Exodus, God says, hit the rock. Then in Numbers,
right. He said, hit the rock. So Moshe got accustomed to hitting the rock, and then he switched it, and he messed up. And for that it was such a grave sin, he didn't get to go to Eretz Yisrael.
Well, I think the real sin there was that Moses said, shall we bring forth water from the rock?
Well,
meaning him and Aaron. And rather than it's God who's doing the miracle.
Right.
So it was like, shall we bring forth, like me saying, shall I, create a great miracle here? No, I can't create miracles. Only God can.
Right. So the point is that was the only time he ever screwed up the directions. And it was like a minor flaw. Otherwise than that, he was perfect. Okay. The thing about that Prager said was he tried to bring that over, and see, this is the problem. If you really study the Torah well, you understand